So after the very cold weather we had this week, I want to say that is definitely the beginning of winter for us. And there's not really much happening in the vegetable garden in winter. I've put down my mulch. I've planted the seedlings that can be planted. Just got to wait for them to grow, and they grow awfully slow in winter. It's just incredible the rate at which plants start to grow in spring. It's like every time you go out there, it's like, oh, there's a new leaf. Oh, look at that. That's just was grown up. Where did that come from? But in winter, that's so slow. Anyways, so I've got still some things to do for the fruit trees. I have a peach tree which has been in the ground here for probably about 13 years. I bought it from a nursery. It was grafted onto rootstock. I actually don't know what the variety is. I must actually maybe Google that and find out what the variety is, because it's interesting. Other people in the neighborhood who have peach trees, their peach trees are still bare when mine have already got fruit. Not fruit. Mine have already got blossoms and leaves on them. So it has dropped all its leaves now. It's the end of May. It's 28th today. And but I'll show you the buds on it. It's amazing. Like it has hardly had any dormant stage, and then the buds are already going to start swelling. So they're already looking like they got some proper life in them. However, this peach tree has been a story for me. In all those years, I've had one proper peach. Like it was a proper, bigger than a tennis ball. It was beautiful. One. I'll show you a photo of it. We took a photo. We were just like, this is amazing. So we were hoping, okay, great, next season this is going to be it. Every year I have a problem with the mouse birds. They will eat the entire fruit. Just the pip sits there on the tree. And if it's not them, those that they don't get at, it will be the fruit fly. So I've put around individual fruit. Then I tried with clear plastic bags. And then that didn't work. That was actually just a complete fail. I did eventually cut little holes in, because then the moisture just gathers in there, and that was enough. Then I thought, okay, well, to at least keep the mouse birds off, I will wrap each one in a little net. Those mouse birds, they go through the net, and of course the fruit fly, they're gonna obviously go through the net. So, and I don't actually almost think it's always fruit fly. We've also got a problem with stink bugs, and I've heard that they will also lay their eggs in the fruit. So it's been a real battle for me just to get any kind of fruit off of the tree. So when I do have a decent sort of crop, but they're not nice to eat. They're watery. They're just not nice. Then I will make chutney from them. But in the last 2 seasons, I have had nothing. I pruned it 2 years ago, the tree, and then I was like, I'm giving up on this tree. I don't care. It's going to just provide food for the birds, and I've given up. But this year I want to try again. I've heard it said that a farmer has 40 chances. It's a little bit depressing, because 40 is not that much. 40 chances to get your crop right, or 40 chances at growing something. And if it fails 1 year, you've got to wait a whole year for it to be successful, or to try again the next year. Anyways, so we'll give this a go. I'll show you what I did. Last week I pruned it. I pruned it quite heavily, and my plan is I'm going to wrap the whole thing in a fine net to keep whichever bug it is that's laying its eggs in there, fruit fly and possibly those stink bugs, and to keep the mouse birds off. So that's my plan. But until then, when it starts to, well, you see, that's the other thing. If I wrap the whole thing up now, then when it blossoms, the bees can't get in. But those mouse birds will come in, they will annihilate the little blossoms. All the first leaves that show out have got these peck marks in them. Mouse birds. So I'm going to have to time that really well. I'm going to experiment with that. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down cardboard around the base of the tree, about 1 meter square, and then I'm going to fence it in for my chickens, and then I'm going to put down compost. Sadly, I'm going to have to buy in compost because my compost is not ready yet, but that's okay. Now's my chance. I'm going to do it, and I'm hoping to get decent fruit. Let me show you what I did with the pruning of the tree. Okay, so here's my tree. It's right by the jungle gym. So it gets a lot of sun, which is ideal for fruit trees. I pruned off quite a lot, probably a meter. Here's one that's still lying here, off of the branches. Here you can see this is last year's growth over here, and these as well, and even there's still life in this. But these buds, they're going to start swelling up soon. Well, if it was still on the tree. It really doesn't take much of a break. Maybe it must be just the variety that it is. So I lobbed off a lot of branches. Most of the growth or fruiting takes place on the side of the tree because of the way the sun comes over, and then there's this yellow wood that is here next to it, which was tiny when we planted it. And one always has to actually consider those things when planting trees. So you can see that I've really taken off quite a lot, and I'm hoping that on the new growth it will also still fruit. Anyways, at least it will give leaves, which will help with the photosynthesis. And I have my washing machine and dishwasher water coming from the house. So we've done washing today. So you can see the water has gathered there now. It's quite a lot because I think after the heavy rains that we received on Tuesday and Wednesday, the ground is quite waterlogged still. But normally it's just so dry. We've just had such dry seasons after season after season since 2015. Possibly that's also a problem. So the plan is to feed it and give it a lot of water. I'll probably move the washing machine. I'll probably do this maybe once a week. Let all the washing machine water come onto it, and then I'll move that onto the avo tree that I have over there. So since I've been putting the washing machine water on this avo tree has it's just grown. It's probably doubled in size. I wouldn't, stand still, there we go. I wouldn't always recommend putting your grey water on your vegetables. I have 2 friends that do it with great success. I have read the University of Cape Town did a study, and they said that it's not always a good idea if you're sort of spraying onto your vegetables, because you could have harmful bacteria which could make you sick. But on fruit trees, I don't think it's a problem. So the grey water it is, and I'm going to put down the compost. First, you'll also point that out, this is buffalo grass there. So I'm not going to dig. I'm not going to make a nice border, whatever. I'm going to make a nice border with some cardboard. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll put the compost down and put my little fence around to keep my little chickens out. And I'm going to keep you updated as to what happens with my peach tree. And I really am hoping to show you some beautiful peaches this year. So let's get to it. So if it's going to work for a vegetable garden, it will work for a fruit tree. First the cardboard and then the compost. Maybe I'll even plant something underneath here, some garlic or something. We'll see. I've put these poles in because I'm going to fence it off for my chickens. If you don't have chickens, then you don't need to put the poles in the fencing, but I would recommend that you get some chickens. Okay, let me put my cardboard down. So you want it to overlap to keep the grass out, weed, whatever you're putting it onto. So it's exactly the same principle as when I showed you to make a new bed using the cardboard and compost. Right, the compost will push that down. Then this is 20 liters of compost from the hardware store. Smooth that out. See, here they come. I think I'm going to do the other bag as well. No, off you go. There we go. Just move that up the rest now. And then just stand on it. Just bring it down. And even it out. You could use a rake here. But this is so little, I'm not going to bother. Just you go, chicken. There we go. That's it. So, I think that this is going to work. I really do. I believe so. If it's going to work with the vegetable garden, it should work here as well. And I'll keep you posted. And possibly in the next few months, might be having some decent peaches for a change.